Welcome to Get Paid for Your Pad, the definitive show on Airbnb hosting, featuring the best advice on how to maximize profits from your Airbnb listing, as well as real-life experiences from Airbnb hosts all over the world. Welcome. We are your hosts, Josefa Kapadia and Jasper Rivers.
Get paid for your pad. 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 Get paid for your pad.
Welcome! Get Paid for Your Pets, episode 89. And today I have a guest from Canada on the show. Her name is Cynthia, and I think it's very, very cold in Canada right now.
It is. It's about minus 15, Jasper. In Fahrenheit, I think it's 7. And this is spring. We've seen worse, so I'm looking forward to summer at this point.
I can imagine, yeah. I know what the cold is like because I used to live in Chicago, and the winters in Chicago are fairly similar to what they are in Canada.
Yeah, well, they're long and terrible.
What do you, I wonder, because, when I was living in Chicago, I used to work, so I would just go to the office every day, and then in the weekends, I just stay at home most of the time or take a taxi to a restaurant. But what do you do during the winter?
Well, we're lucky because I live in Mont-Tremblant, which is an intra-west company. Intra-west creates wonderful resort towns, and we have Mont-Tremblant ski resorts. So we have an amazing, huge mountain here, one of the biggest, I think, in Northeast America. And so I live 10 minutes away from amazing snowboarding.
Okay.
And beautiful landscape. We can, all kinds of winter activities. We even dog sled this year for the first time, so that's pretty fun, I guess.
That's great. I went skiing in Canada once, and it wasn't a great experience because I broke my wrist on the first day.
That happens to a lot of people. Unfortunately, people just come here and go for it, and then they end up at the hospital.
Yeah, exactly. That's what happened to me last year, actually, in Whistler. It's kind of unfortunate because the week after I was in Whistler, I was supposed to go skiing with my family in France. So I ended up missing 2 weeks of skiing.
Oh, okay. Your life sounds so good.
Yeah.
Even with a broken wrist, I don't feel bad for you.
No, I mean I still had a good time in Whistler actually because there's some other stuff to do as well, and it's a pretty fun place to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I haven't really been skiing since, but I still want to go skiing in North America, whether it be in Canada or in the US. I've skied a lot in the French Alps and the Swiss and the Austrian Alps. But so hopefully in the future I'll have more luck next time.
Well, I have a great Airbnb rental that you can use if you come here.
Oh, really? Well, that's good news because I have an Airbnb hosting podcast, so maybe we can talk about your Airbnb listing.
Oh, good.
So I'm looking at your listing right now, and the first picture that you have is really an amazing picture, and it's overlooking a lake. It's at the sunset, so it looks beautiful, and I've been reviewing a lot of listings for my this Fiverr service that I have, and I noticed that a lot of people take really cool pictures, but then they forget to put their best picture first. And this is definitely something that you did really well because you look at the first picture and I literally just want to be there. I just want to step into a teleport and transfer myself right to that lake. Drink a glass of wine and watch that sunset. So definitely did a good job there. But tell us, how did you get started with Airbnb?
Well, it's circumstances. I mean, living in a small town, it's still a resort town, but not many population here. So, being a graphic designer, I've always been an entrepreneur, lots of ideas, very passionate about things. But living in a small town, as we were visiting around, I felt like there could be a lack of opportunity and creativity for my own interests. And then I thought that maybe I could, you know, gain money and be an entrepreneur and be creative by having this type of business. So I kind of made it happen because of the circumstances that there isn't many great jobs around here or much opportunity either. So I made my own job pretty much. Mm.
Very cool, very cool. And that's great about Airbnb, how it empowers people to, to sort of live the lives that they want. And
Mhm.
I guess you're a good example of that. So did you use Airbnb before you started hosting as a traveler as well, or?
Actually, no, I haven't. But I was in the tourism industry. I lived in 9 years in Costa Rica on the Pacific Ocean. So it's like I was trained to cater to tourists. I was trained to know what tourists like. I lived in the tourist industry for all those years, and I felt very comfortable starting this business. Even if we weren't doing Airbnb, we still did rentals and we sold real estate over there. So I'm used to getting people at the airport, emailing them, making sure they're fine, making sure they know what to do. So all this was already a pattern in my life, and it just felt natural to start Airbnb here.
Very cool. And so tell us a little bit more about your listing.
Well, I have this super cute Canadian 1940s cabin. So it's super rustic, and a lot of people imagine that in Canada we live this way. Um, next to my listing is my house. So on my property, I have two houses, but the original owners from the 1940s left their beautiful cabin on my property, and it was authentic when we just came into Mont-Tremblant. The cabin was all brown and was just 1940s, kind of abandoned almost. And I saw the potential. I was like, okay, I can make this cute. I can make this, uh, happen through Airbnb. And so we renovated all last summer and made it to my taste. And as soon as we opened, we opened the lines, we put it on Airbnb. It's been an instant success because I think it has the charm of the cabin. And so the French people from France, they imagined this as being a typical Canadian experience. So I have a lot of French from France and people that want to live the Canadian experience coming here.
Okay, that's great. And I think you're obviously doing very well with your listing. I see lots of really good reviews. It's like 5 stars all over the board, across the board. Um, but one thing that I think is really good what you do is the way you position your listing. So your title is Yogi Lake Cabin Retreat with Massage. So
Hmm.
I know you also you offer some extra services to your guests as well, which I'd love to talk about that as well. But first, I wanted to mention the way you position your listing, because I look at the pictures and I see yoga, I see health, I see gluten-free products, I see organic breakfast, and
Hmm.
so it seems like you're really targeting a specific audience with your listing.
Hmm. Well, I created something I would like to go to. So all these things that you see is something that I would like people to offer me, and it's because if you a lot of people are on the health the health boat right now. But if you'd like to go for a retreat, a health retreat, you have to spend insane amount of money for one weekend. So I was trying to offer the same rejuvenating, restorative qualities as a retreat, but in a private, beautiful setting. So what I do is just let them be in their cabin, and if they would like, I come in and I offer services as well.
Hmm. And what kind of services do you offer?
Yeah, I'm a massage therapist and a yoga teacher, so it was easy for me to offer these things.
Hmm.
And we are vegetarian here, and I do have all the food that I offer because I offer a menu in my cabin is food that I have in my house anyway. So it was kind of just offering everything that I already have to my guests.
Hmm. So you cook for your guests. Do you do like a full menu, like a breakfast, lunch, dinner?
Breakfast is always included. I think that should be in, Airbnb should always have at least the first breakfast included, but I do market it. So it is visible in my pictures and my text on Airbnb that people don't have to worry about their first breakfast. So I offer Starbucks coffee, a choice of continental or organic breakfast, like yogurt and fruit. And so they love that. They love that aspect that when they come in, the breakfast is already in the fridge, the croissants are already on the counter and everything's there. So if they just want to chill and go to the restaurant on the first night, they don't even have to visit the grocery store until the next day.
Hmm.
Hmm.
That's great. That's great. And your place is very affordable. I'm looking at your prices. Because how many people can you host in the cabin?
Well, most of the time it's couples because it's kind of the stairs. You see the stairs. It's not really a place for older guests or younger kids. So I have a lot of couples, but I am able to host 4 adults at a time, 4 to 5 adults.
4 to 5 adults. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's and you're charging well. I'm looking at your prices in euros because I'm on the it automatically converts it to euros for me. But it says 63 euros, which is
Very cheap.
that's like $75 US dollars, which I don't
Mm.
it's I don't know how many Canadian
It's
dollars that
yeah,
is.
I charge $110 Canadian for the weekend, which is probably 80 something dollars American. But my strategy is that I do massage and yoga, so that's pretty much where I get the extra profit.
Right.
So I want to encourage people to come, and I'm fully booked all the time, 100% almost.
Hmm.
But what's nice is that, I do get to connect with people around the world, which I'm really grateful for because I love it.
Hmm.
And also I get to offer massages and yoga, which is my salary. So that's nice.
Interesting. Yeah, and a lot of people take advantage of those services.
Um, More and more, I think people in the beginning were kind of shy or didn't know, but the more I get reviews with people saying how great it is and how massage is on my, the more people do it, the more people are ordering it. So I do get almost every guest uses the services
Okay.
now. In the
Okay.
beginning, it was slow, but
Hmm.
more and more now.
Okay, and that allows you to make your listing very affordable, right? Because if you
Mhm.
have 5 guests, that's just over 20 Canadian dollars per person. That
I
seems
know.
seems like a steal.
I do charge more after 2 guests. I do charge. I think it's $10 extra per night per person,
Okay, all right.
just to because the breakfast and all that and washing the sheets is. So I do
Yeah,
charge more after two guests.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because yeah, especially if you include breakfast. I didn't even think about the breakfast. Yeah,
Yeah.
but including the breakfast, it's even better deal.
Well,
So awesome.
can I
So
let you in on the secret? My secret is that the cabin is I don't pay monthly fees on the cabin because it's on my property. So I don't have many expenses except electricity for the cabin. So for me, it's worth it. And I'm scared that if I'm charging more, people will be more, expect more, and I don't want that pressure too much. At the price that it is, you see how grateful the clients are. It's amazing. So, and I do like to provide for people that wouldn't have the money to go to special retreats. I do like to offer to this population the opportunity to come in a beautiful place by the lake and relax because around here per night is about $200 a night. Not everybody can go for a full week on vacation at $200 a night.
yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, yeah, that's great. And scrolling through your listing, and I noticed that you're doing a really good job. I see you're replying to all the reviews, and like I said, I've been reviewing a lot of listings for people, and one thing that I noticed is that almost nobody replies to reviews.
I'm really I'm so grateful, and I try to connect with every client, and I really want to make a difference in their life, and they know it and they feel it. And I feel like I do connect with my clients in a special way. And also because of the services I offer, it's kind of intimate. Yoga and massage is an intimate experience. And so I feel like I want to reply to their beautiful reviews because I am very grateful for the whole thing.
Awesome. Well, yeah. By the way, you haven't responded to the latest review yet.
Oops! I forgot one, huh? It was
Yeah,
probably yesterday, Jasper. Come on, give me a break.
Rachel. It's a very long review as well, and it's a really cool review. You know what? Let me read the review so that people can get an impression of what it's like to be at your place. So this review is by Rachel, and I think she came with her boyfriend. So the review reads as follows: My boyfriend and I had a great few days at Coquette, and Coquette is the name of your cabin, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
The cabin is cozy, clean, and beautifully, but simply decorated. We loved the wood stove, and the many windows let in lots of natural light and allow you to look out over the lake and watch the beautiful sunsets. While the property itself is quiet and secluded, it's only 10 to 15 minutes from shopping, restaurants, and our favorites, Mont-Tremblant and
Mont-Tremblant.
Mont-Tremblant and the Scandinavian Spa.
Mm-hmm.
Cynthia was an amazing host. She was warm, welcoming, and readily available, but was also very respectful of her privacy. She's also a great yoga teacher, and I would definitely recommend taking one of her classes. Overall, we really did not want to leave at the end of our trip, and we hope to return next time we are in the area. Thank you for your generosity and great vibes, Cynthia. Smiley face. Wow, that's a pretty awesome review. And this reminds me, you know, a lot of people, a lot of Airbnb hosts are really great hosts, but they're not really good at selling themselves, right? I've had so many people, so many hosts that I've helped, and I look at their listing and I talk to them, and I can tell they're really good hosts, but then their listing just doesn't communicate that. And what I usually tell people is to go through their reviews for inspiration, right? Because literally this review, you could take half of that review and just literally put it in your description, right? Because it just sounds like really attractive. It sounds, it's really
It goes right
well
to the
written.
point. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really well written. So it's funny, sometimes I look at a listing and then the description is very boring and factual, It says, we have a house with 2 bedrooms and a kitchen and blah, blah, blah. It doesn't sound very appealing. And then I look at the reviews, and then it's like 5-star reviews. People write whole stories about how amazing it is, and then the host asked me, well, how do I write a good description? And
It's all there.
I'm like, dude, just look at the reviews. You can literally copy paste some of the reviews, and there you go.
Yeah, that's true. It's unbelievable. If like I can't even believe it. The people are so generous, but I cater to yogis, and yogis are very grateful. So if you look at my reviews, they're pretty much all long and full of joy and really nice vibes. I'm
Yeah.
lucky. I have a great clientele too.
But
Yeah.
that's also a result of your strategy. And, I think it's very smart. Because if you think about it, like Airbnb, in a way, it's a business, it's a product, right? That you market to a specific audience, and the way you market it is by communicating the best aspects of your listing, right?
Mhm.
I mean, that's also how businesses work. You define what's your unique selling point, why should people buy your product, and then
Mhm.
you figure out who are the people that would be interested in my product. And so
Mhm.
what you're doing is you're really targeting the health, the yoga sort of community. And so by targeting those people, by making it very clear what type
Mhm.
of people would love your place most, that naturally attracts those people. And
Yeah.
so it becomes kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
And I would say to your listeners, like, if there's too many listings in your area, it's very easy to find some, even if you're not a massage therapist or a yogi, or you can, cater to, you find something you'd like to cater to. It's very easy to offer. Like even if I wasn't a yoga teacher, I could still call my cabin Yogi Lake Cabin, and hire somebody to come in the cabin. It would be very easy. It's just like figuring out what people are looking for and who can help you provide it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's you stand out when you target a specific crowd, and
Mm.
it's I had a question from this other Airbnb host the other day, and I was telling this person the same thing. I was saying, you should put something specific in your title. You should really think about what is the best aspect of your listing, and communicate that, and also think about who would stay at your place. Like what's the best fit, in terms of demographics or in terms of interest. And then that person told me, he said, "Well, if I target that specific audience, I'm worried that I'm not gonna get enough guests. I'm worried that all the people that don't have that specific interest or don't fit that specific target audience, that they won't be interested in my listing anymore." And I understand the point, but the thing is, it's not like you're only getting yogis. I think
No.
your place is still attractive for other people as well,
Oh yeah, for
right?
sure. Yeah.
But by targeting a specific audience, like you're almost guaranteed, if somebody's really interested in yoga and looks at listings in your area, you're almost guaranteed to get those people, and then you still
Yeah.
can get other people as well. But
Yeah.
by being by positioning yourself that way, you're just standing out from the crowd.
I think, yes, I think that's mainly it, is because even if people are not yogis, because it's different than all the other listing in the area, they will still click on my listing because they'll be curious at the least. And then once they get into my listing, well, they see the lake, they see So I think it's just a plus to target at least a little bit. And it could be as easy as artistic loft, and then you put a big painting in your
Yeah,
living room, and there you go, and you show that painting, and you put a little splashes of color in your place. Boom, you have all the artists, that at least will click on your listing and go see it.
absolutely. That's
Yeah.
a very good point. Yeah.
Hmm.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about your experiences. Like it seems like you've had very good experiences with your guests so far. Has anything ever gone wrong?
Then there is some people, and that don't communicate well, or some people that come only for the price. Since I have a low price, some people don't even look at the listing. They come here for skiing, and they don't really care to meet me, or to they don't even care about the place. They just care about the price, and that's disappointing. It's only disappointing for me. And there is some accidents with maybe the fire stove. Is Some people never use the fire stove, so we've had some issues sometimes. But I would say that 95% of, maybe 97% is amazing, and then 3% can be a bit more difficult, but all in all, it's been absolutely amazing experience.
And what did you learn during your Airbnb experience so far? Like, are there any things that you do different now than the way you did them in the beginning?
Um, the thing about the reviews is that people have expectations now. In the beginning, there was no expectations. So the reviews, actually, I can see that people have demands now. They expect certain service. So now I have to keep it going to not disappoint. So I did put myself into a position where I'm addicted to the 5 stars now. It's like, yeah. And from the beginning, no, I think I had a plan. I had a strategy planned, and I haven't changed too much. I mean, um, no, I keep it the same way. I make sure that people come in and have a great first impression. That's my most important thing, is the first impression. Like when you meet another human being, the first 5 seconds are important. And I think I focus more and more on that first 5 seconds. So when the people come in the place, there's a beautiful smell, there's a fire going, it's, like impeccable. I make sure that, that first impression is the best. And I think from then on, I think you're good. So yes, I've been focusing more on the way they come in the parking, making sure they have no questioning, that there's no stress when they come into the place, that they're fully informed about everything. Is probably what I am always working on, is first impression.
That's great advice. I like that a lot. I think even before the guests arrive, you know, the communication with the guests
Mhm.
before they arrive, I think is also very important. It's something that I've been focusing on more actually recently, to really make it a point to communicate with them, give them multiple ways to contact you, to ask some questions, to just show a little bit of interest, and that way you can find out a little bit more about your guests as well, which also allows you to accommodate them better.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and I think it's important that it comes from a genuine place. I
Hmm.
know it's harder for you. Like, let's say I see them and I meet them, but I can't imagine that if you're remote, you don't. It's hard to be genuine and to want to meet people and all that. But for me, I try to make every email personal. I try not to use formal, pre-written emails all the time. Of course, I have a bank of emails that I use, but I
Hmm.
always try to personalize every communication so that the person knows that they're important to me.
Awesome, that's great. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story on this podcast. If I'm around, like I would definitely come to check it out, and maybe go skiing. And hope
Summer's great too. We have paddle boards, canoes, and it's a great time on the lake as well.
Okay,
So,
that's
hmm
awesome. Awesome. So thanks a lot, Cynthia, for being on the show. And
thank you, Jasper.
before I'll wrap this up, I wanted to mention two things. First of all, me and Josefa, we are working very hard right now on the second version of Get Paid for Your Pad. So we initially launched the book in August 2014, so that's over a year and a half ago. And since then, quite a few things changed. Airbnb keeps coming up with new functionality. The rules, regulations have changed in a lot of places, and obviously by doing this podcast, this is now the 89th episode. So I've talked to so many hosts, and I've learned a lot about Airbnb hosting since I published the book. So we decided to launch the next version, and I'm really excited about it because we're almost going to double the content in the book. So it's there's really going to be a lot of new information in the book, and we're not sure exactly when we're going to launch it because we want to make sure it's completely done. We're taking a very perfectionist stance toward this now. So, but it probably will be in 3 or 4, maybe 5 weeks. So I just want to let everybody know to keep an eye out for that. And I'll, of course, if you're on my email list, which you can sign up for at getpaidforyourpad.com, then you'll obviously get we'll get some emails with some updates, and we're also going to do a promotion the first week that the new version will be live. So it'll probably be for sale for just a couple dollars. Talking about my email list, and one more thing that I want to mention, because I actually recently hired a business coach because I've been doing this Airbnb stuff, the podcast. I've been doing the book, I have a video course. I do some personal consulting as well, and I decided to really focus on it from a business perspective. So I hired this business coach, and one of the first things he told me was that I should promote my products more to my list. And I've never really done this very very much. I've sent out occasional emails, but most of the emails that I send are just meant to just to help people and just like random things that I come up with. But my business coach told me to send out a sort of like a sales sequence, is what I call, to sell my video course. And so I kind of just followed his lead. I don't have any experience with online marketing really, so it was kind of new to me. But it was a really interesting experience because on the one hand, it was a great success. Like, a lot of people joined my video course on Udemy. I've got lots of new students, and I've already gotten a lot of messages from the students as well that they really enjoyed the course, and they've already made improvement and saw their results improve. But on the other hand, I also got a lot of negative reactions, and I think it's because I guess the emails were a little bit aggressive from a marketing perspective, and so I understand some people didn't really like that, because I don't really like to get those salesy emails myself, but I just thought I'd listen to my coach and just try it. And so I did get some emails from people who weren't very happy. They either told me to fuck off, or they said, well, I'm unsubscribing from your list, or they just told me, your email is like really rude or offensive. Or anyway, I just wanted to mention it. That if you're listening to this and you are on my list and you didn't like my email, then I'm sorry for the salesy tone of the email. But it was a good learning lesson, and I'm very happy that a lot of people joined my Airbnb course, because I think that there's a lot of opportunity to improve, I think, for a lot of hosts. And I think the video course is one of the best ways that I can help the hosts. So I'm very grateful for that. So if you sign up for the course, thank you very much. Always feel free to send me a message if you need any help. I'm always happy to help, because that's kind of my mission with this whole thing anyway. So with that, I want to wrap up this episode of Get Paid for Your Pad. So thanks for listening, and I'll be back next week.
Get paid for your pad. 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 Get paid for your pad.